What up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. And yesterday, the best bet for this show was an easy winner. Tatum rebounds over, but overall, just wasn't a good day. The Celtics blew the cover. That kind of killed my NBA day there. The Grizzlies' first half wasn't good, so NBA was 1-2 yesterday. And college, I took my first loss. I'm now 7-1, but I lost Kansas first half. They played their worst first half of the season so far. So need to do better today. Have a lot of NBA games to choose from, and unless you guys want to hear about them all, I might not go through them all on this show because I will be on again later with Dutch Babano and Wham Bam. What up, Action Jackson? Appreciate you tapping into the show. All right, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna go real quick and easy through these games. This is gonna be probably the fastest show that you've seen. First up, Bulls and Bucks opened up Bucks -8. I now see them still -8. Total open 237.5. That one continues to climb. I see it as high as 240. And for the injury report, no Lonzo Ball, no Sonogo, and then Patrick Williams also out. For the Bucks, you have Giannis, game time decision, probable. Um, Middleton and Rollins still out for them. This Bucks team, my bad, you guys. This Bucks team did me dirty in that last game. They really had the game, let them come back, and the other team took the lead, and then they had to fight just to win that game by one. Um, I really just don't like what I'm seeing from Lillard, honestly, if I gotta say. So if I'm gonna bet this game, what I'm gonna do is take either Giannis points because he kills Chicago. It's just a terrible matchup. They give up a lot of points in the paint, and you know that's where he feasts. Even if you look at the last 5 games, paint field goal percentage allowed, they're 27th. And like I said, Giannis is gonna eat down there. I want to say he's cleared this. I'll look it up. I know I saw it earlier, but Giannis, I have it right here. Giannis versus Bulls. Let's just look at his recent games. I guess, and they make you pay for this now. So let's do it like this. So last season, he had 46, 32, 35. He did have one game with 30, with 26. So you can keep that in mind. Season before, he got hurt in one game and only played 9 minutes. The other 2 games, 45 points, 36 points. So it's just been a team that can't really match up with Giannis. And it would be his points or looking at an over in this game. I mean, every time I talk about Chicago, that's pretty much the way I'm looking or past. They're number one in pace the last 5 games and 27th defensive rated team. So up tempo, no defense. You can understand why this total has gone up from 237.5 as high as 240. But line shop, if you like over, I see a 238.5 over at Caesars and a couple other shops. So that would be the way I approach it. I'm going to get my list going down right here. And I did make a bet today, a bet that I really do like. But I'm going to put Chicago, Milwaukee over 238.5 and Giannis believe his points were 30.5. Probably he's gone up to 31.5. Giannis points. I'll put 31.5. All right, let's see what you guys think. Maybe not the quickest show ever. Mark was good with you. He says, how's the chat today? Everybody coming in from the chat. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, Dom, we grinding. Sad, man, bro. Celtics did us dirty, bro. And I saw you in the chat too, the other chat that we're in. I know you like what you were hearing from me, so sorry I steered you in the wrong direction there. B Daddy likes this game first half over 118. Why do you like the first half specifically? I mean, it is a lower number in general comparison to the full game, but why this first half specifically? Let me actually look at the stats. First half overs 10-5 for the Bulls. Um, Bucks have been an under team so far this season. Bulls on the full game, 9-5-1 to the over. So maybe that little bit. But let me know. What up, Charles White, Jose Perez? Casey says, if Giannis don't play, they losing. I agree. You got to depend on Dame. I was gonna say lame. I accidentally said you got to depend on Lame. I should have just let it go like that. I don't like what I'm seeing from Lillard. Trey Jr. says lame time. Yeah. Not liking what I'm seeing at all. Lit Pick says he's on that Giannis over 31.5 points. Won't be surprised if he puts up 50. Eddie Cash, maybe not liking because he can't make free throws. Jose Perez playing points and rebounds. Austin asking, any thoughts on Giddy's PRA today? Um, what is the number? I would need a number, but I don't know that I love. I mean, it should be a game that's up. I mean, all their games are up tempo. Don't think the Bucks are that great of a defensive team, but I do know there's some bigs down there who can, protect the paint, and that's where Giddy kind of would thrive, the points wise. So maybe more so assist. I'd probably look towards for Giddy. J Money 0 to 9 says Kobe White over his points a good look. Killed the Bucks in their home opener. I think he had 31. Yeah, same way, Casey. Same way. Appreciate you, Charles White. What up, James Samuels? All right, let's see. Is there any more looks on this one? Any more looks on this one? Trevor Tillis, my bad. Trevor Tillis says he's taking Chicago and he's going on the money line. All right. Let's get to the next game. That looks like Pelicans and Cavaliers. Open Cavaliers minus 14. It did go up to 15, I thought. Now it's coming back down to 13.5. Total continues to drop. Open 222.5, and it's as low as 216.5. Injury report for the Pelicans. The same laundry list of guys. Like everybody's out for them. Same guys. For the Cavaliers, this is why the line is moving. Garland's out. Levert, Okoro, Struce, Monty Bates, all out. Dean Wade looks like he's probable for tonight. Cavaliers coming off of that big game yesterday versus the Celtics. They took their first loss. Now they face a New Orleans team that missing a lot of talent over there. I'll say this. I don't know how focused Cavaliers will be in this spot. I don't know how much they have in the tank in this spot. The Pelicans have been pretty bad. I would think it's very hard to trust them for 48 minutes, but I'll pull this up here. If you can maybe trust them for 24, um, let me see. And the Pelicans played Dallas last night too. It wasn't competitive at all though. So if you can trust the Pelicans maybe for a short period, they're 9-6 in the first half ATS, 4-11 for the full game. And look at the Cavaliers, the opposite, 7-8-1 ATS in the first half, 12-4 on the full game. So I think Pelicans first half would probably be a way I look, but not sure. Probably not actually getting to the window with this game. Let's see what you guys like in this one. Casey says skip. Yeah, Pelicans have everybody out. Oh, wait, did they say? Oh yeah, Ingram. I didn't even see that. Ingram out too. Ingram out. I skipped that one. I'm used to seeing this big list, but they snuck Ingram in there on me. Yeah, that's this game is a backwood for sure. Backwood for me. So don't see too much in the chat. We'll keep it going to the next game. Blazers and Thunder. This one opened up 14.5 point favors for OKC, and it continues to drop. See 11.5 now. Total open 222. It's up to 223.5 for the Blazers. Simons looks like he's game time. Aiton is doubtful. Matisse Thybulle is out. Isaiah Joe is questionable, and the three usual centers for OKC will not be out there. This is a back-to-back for OKC. I say that like I don't know, but yeah, I just watched them play yesterday. Back-to-back for them. Meanwhile, for the Blazers, they've had 2 days rest for this game, and before that game, they had 2 days rest, so they're extra well rested coming in here, and they've been playing well. I mean, the Blazers don't look now; they won what 3 games in a row. Um, I think since Aiton got hurt, they've won every single game. So, granted, I mean, they played Minnesota twice. Minnesota's supposed to be a decent, a good team. Atlanta, we can make an argument, but I can understand why the line is coming down. I mean, for one, Blazers playing better. They're the more rested team. Thunder off a really tough game last night. I could only lean towards Portland. They've even been the better defensive team last 5 games. Sixth best defensive rated team. I think that I mean you don't have Aiton, but you still have Klingon. You still have Robert Williams. I think that they can be difference makers in this game. I really do. Um, Portland also, I did make some money taking them first quarter. Did OKC sleepwalk in the first quarter after that like game last night? I'm not sure. For this specific spot, I think the longer the game goes on, it should favor the Blazers. But I didn't get there today. I didn't get there. So let's see what you guys think. Did any of you get there on this game? Mark did. Mark got the plus 12. Casey likes clinging blocks, Jalen rebounds and assists. Yeah, I remember that first quarter. I remember, but this spot, I think the full game just it's just a better spot for the full game, in my opinion. B Daddy leaning towards the plus 12. What up, Star Child? Appreciate you reminding everybody to hit the like button. Nook, he took the Blazers last night, plus 14 and a half, and sprinkled on that money line. So he thinks the Blazers are definitely competitive in this game. ZB Miami says OKC has no rim protection. Blazers on the spread. They did win some games without a center. I mean, I know they didn't win their last two, but they have won some games without their bigs. I get the point though. Absolutely get the point. TP Jet says OKC win margin 11 plus minus 140. So I guess that means you're taking them minus 10 and a half. I guess that's what that means. Michael R thinks this is going to be a beatdown. He says minus 29 and a half. And TP Jet says OKC doesn't play again until Monday. They'll go all out. Just lost to two conference teams. It's not often that you see OKC lose back to back. I want to query something. Now I'm thinking about it. My bad on that, but I'm curious to see. I saw OKC off of a loss yesterday. Saw their stats. So let's look off back to back losses for Thunder. Team equals Thunder. We look at the beginning of last season. Greater than equal 2023 and back to back losses. They are 8-1 straight up, 5-4 ATS, 5-2-2 to the over. And they've been a favorite in every game except two. Interesting. Interesting. And only one of them, they were unrested. And they did win that game and cover. It was a minus 3.5 spread. They won 127, 113 versus the Kings. Interesting. This game, I'm gonna tell you, everything says to bet. Not everything, but a lot says that it's an advantageous spot for the Blazers, and they've been playing well. Um, I think everybody's seeing it, and everybody's betting the Blazers. And personally, I don't usually care what everybody's betting, but one thing I don't like is the public dog. So that's kind of scaring me off too. Between that and not getting the best of the number, um, I'm just not able to push confirm. I'll leave it on this little short list, but I'm not sure I can get there anymore with Portland. Do lean that way. Um, yeah, but it's just gonna be a lean. Star Child likes the total. Yeah, Thunder off of a loss as a favorite. The total has trended towards the over. I know that Spurs game died out last night, but it has been a thing going back to the beginning of last season. All right, next we have Pacers and Rockets. This is what I'm interested in talking about. Rockets 6.5 point favorites. Total dropped a point to 231.5. Let's hit refresh on this injury report. For the Rockets, Jalen Green is game time. Cam Whitmore is game time. For the Pacers, looks like Furphy, Shepard, Miles Turner, Jarris Walker, all game time decision. Nimhard and Neesmith look like they're going to be out. I was leaning towards Miles Turner's points in this game just because I know he's done well versus the Rockets and Şengün in general, just stretching the floor. He's cleared his point prop number his last 5 games versus them. Point prop is 16 and a half. I was thinking about that. I will actually put that on my short list here on this paper. Turner, 16 and a half. Outside of that, I feel like 2 different ways. First of all, from the Rockets side of view, I feel like they can play a game either way. They can play up tempo, they can play slow. The main thing for the Rockets that's consistent is they do play defense. They do play defense. When you look at them versus the teams that do like to run, the most recent one, Chicago and Houston, they put up 143. They still held Chicago to 107. I mean, it's only been a couple times you've seen teams put up big points on this Rockets team. And I'm gonna scroll down here. Their team total. I'm sorry, their opponent's team total. So back in the Rockets defense, 13-2 to the under. Um, that definitely stands out to me. Rockets the second best defensive rated team last 5 games as well, playing at the fifth fastest pace. So I think in the game versus the Pacers, I mean, I know they've been a little inconsistent with it, maybe depending on who they play as well, but they're a team that wants to run. That's their identity. I think this one is an up and down game. The question is, how many points can the Pacers offense contribute? Um, we know the Pacers defense isn't very great. They can give it up. I think the over is the way I prefer to go in this game. Um, the first half is 115. The full game is 231 and a half. One of those would be the way I go. I just think the pace will be there. And I've seen the way Rockets can play with teams that want to play like that. So over or Miles Turner's over. His points are my recommendations for this game. Sean Murphy likes that over. Mike R says Rockets first half for show. B Daddy said not so fast. He likes Indiana plus 6.5. My guy LJ from H Town says Rockets first half at home. If you know, you know. That's good old faithful from LJ. Says get in and get out with those Rockets. And looks like he's looking towards the Rockets early as well. I don't know about that Pacer stat. Let me see. Because I'm not doubting you. I feel like I haven't seen that. Maybe you're talking about the last 8. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, it's been more games played than that. So maybe that was recent stats. That's what that probably was. Okay. Mark A says, really liking this Houston team late, -6 lots of energy on both sides. Pacers, Halliburton have been terrible in a row. Halliburton's been terrible everywhere, I think. Dan N says Rockets home unders was a thing last year. Brian H is saying Pacers team total under 110. Rockets have only led 2 teams, I think, clear that number. But I don't know tonight. It could be played so fast that we could see points. It's a lot of how Rob Vino says potential points to be scored. That's something tough to go against for me. Pacers 10-4 to the over, 7-6-1 only to the first half over. Interesting. Pacers, let me look at their games lately. 119, 119, 111, 90, 132, 83. Yeah, I don't know about that team total under. If I'm playing this game, I like points. That's my preference. I think the pace will win out. And lack of defense for Indiana's side. I think Rockets at least can score. So Rockets team total over maybe is the way to go in this game. JW says first quarter over 57.5. What up, Munaf? Sab says he doesn't think Jalen Green will play today. That could be a reason we saw the line coming down on the total too. So I'll mark it here, but I'll be keeping an eye out. Definitely want him in. Casey says on the road, home, out of country. They terrible everywhere. All right. Your mom's basement in the building. What's good with you? Next game up, we have 76ers and Grizzlies. And this game opened up Sixers -2. They're now a 4-point favorite. Total open 219.5. It looks like 223.5. Um, Grizzlies are on the second of a back to back, third and four, fourth and six. Sixers did have a day's rest before this game. You had 2 days rest before that game, before that previous game as well. And it's a chance for them to maybe get a little bit of revenge here after they got whooped by double digits versus the Grizzlies last time they saw them. Um, what stood out to me in this game is, first of all, you have a 2-11 76ers team here versus a Grizzlies team above 500. And the road 2-11 team is the favorite. That's always going to stand out to me. And I just try to think, they got to be favored for a reason. What's the reason is that they're favored? One obvious reason you can point to the rest advantage. Um, you could look at rested road favorites versus unrested opponents in general all time. They win about 70% of those games. So it's an advantageous spot for them in general. And another reason, it's just kind of like the state of the team right now. Like I said, this is a team that was expected to win 50 plus games. I believe their win total was. I think it was 52 and a half, 51 and a half, whatever it is. I bet it under. But they're expected to win 50 plus games. And they're at 2-11. Most of the reason why, we all know they've been injured. The big three of Paul George, Maxey, and Embiid, we haven't seen together yet. But Embiid, not on the injury report today. Paul George, not on the injury report today. Maxey upgraded to questionable. They will be without Kyle Lowry, but Maxey upgraded to questionable. This could be the first time we see the big three. And you can judge it how you want. You got Maxey and the meeting being the one to call out Embiid, saying he's always late, et cetera, et cetera. Um, Reporters have been talking about Embiid. Embiid has looked bad. I think it's a spot where he should absolutely show up. I think it's a spot the 76ers really, really are hungry to win. So if all three play, clearly it's a boost to have all your three stars. But if you have the two, that are rolled in right now and no Maxi, I don't like that Lowry's out, but I still think that they'll be okay. The combination of those two stars and McCain has been good. For as much as we make fun of him, he's been balling out whenever Maxi hasn't been on the court. So just from an effort perspective, I think you get a really big one for Philadelphia. And clearly, the longer the game goes on, it favors them. The Grizzlies, we talked about the rest disadvantage. They're still banged up. John Morant's out. Edie's out. Vince Williams, is he questionable? Yeah, he's questionable. He injured his ankle yesterday and didn't return. You also have Gigi Jackson. You have Cam Spencer out, and you have Marcus Smart, who missed the last game with an illness. So I was expecting, I wouldn't be surprised if more players still got ruled out in this game. But I don't think, like I said, the longer the game goes on, it favors Philly. Philly's playing their third game in 6 nights, and Memphis is playing their third game in 4 nights. So, spot wise, motivation wise, I think that adds up towards 76ers being the correct side in this game. Oh, there it goes. Casey says Grizzlies rolling guys out now. So she says refresh. I don't see anybody out. Maybe it just happened. Let me check my phone. Uh, yes. So Vince Williams got ruled out. Marcus Smart is doubtful. Let me see who else. Conchar is doubtful with an illness. They're going to be really, really shorthanded. Uh, Seeing who else got ruled out here. Let me hit refresh again. Appreciate that. But yeah, they're going to be really shorthanded today. Um, let's see what else you guys are looking at here. Let me scroll up. I guess I was talking for quite a bit. I was talking for a minute. Damn. A lot of comments coming in on this game. Some people don't like it. M. Scissor says Philly has a road ref. The refs in this game are Scott Foster in the building. Scott Foster, JT Orr, and Brandon Schwab are going to be the referees in this game. Hey, Scotty, help. Philly's maybe looking for a little bit of help tonight from Scotty. Casey's asking if anybody's on C's points. Your mom's basement doesn't like the energy in the Philly locker room. I can understand that. Gioni Lane likes the Sixers. Thinks Maxey will be back. Brian says Chris is on Philadelphia today. I think he's talking about Chris B. Cabin. Love to hear that. TP Jet says clear Sixers moneyline spot. And Nick Nurse has never lost a game in Memphis. That's an interesting stat. PZ likes the Sixers as well. Any more comments? Let me see. Let me see. Keep scrolling. There are a lot of comments coming in. Mark says he's got to see it once or twice. He said he can't just be jumping out there with these Sixers anymore. Yeah, my car. Sixers are on a 4-game losing streak. Yep, absolutely. And they're the favorite on the road. Hmm. I don't know. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Ben James, let's see what he says here. Just jumped in. Don't know if anybody dropped this trend. Road teams on a losing streak in a revenge game are 13-0. Favorites or slight underdogs. That's an interesting stat there. Appreciate you sharing that, Ben. Um, Lit Picks is with Mark. He says you got to show me first. Sean Murphy says, "Give me Grizzlies on the money line." He doesn't even need any points. KC doesn't mind Lowry being out. Stab says, "Philly spot. They got to start winning games." I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement with that. Dan is asking about the over. I don't feel very strong about the total in this game. Sorry, I don't really can't really help you out. Here we go. Scott Foster might call it from for them. Oh my God, Scott Foster. Hoover says get in and get out with Philly in that first quarter. Dropping dimes asking about early too. I mean, I don't have first quarter stats. I do think they give a really good effort out the gate, but the Grizzlies have been a really good starting team. 10-5 in the first half. Or my bad, wrong. 11-4 ATS in the first half. Um, and in a game like this, like I said, the longer the game goes on, it favors the Sixers. I can understand, wanting to take the Sixers to throw the first punch in the first quarter, but just my thought process. I think the full game is the best way to go. And yeah, Philly moving on the lines. I see four. I see a 4.5 at one of the offshore books popping up. We'll see if they all move to 4.5. But I definitely see the odd screen lighting up for that Philly game. -4 pretty much across the board. All right. We'll keep going down the list. Next game up, we have Knicks and Suns. This one opened Knicks -5.5. They're currently 5 or 4.5 point favorites. The total went up from 221 to 224.5. Injury report: Achua out, McBride out, Robinson out for Phoenix. Nurkic is game time. No Bill, no KD, no Gillespie. Um, I don't really feel too strong about this game. I mean, The Suns, I don't really want to buy them without KD. That's really just what it boils down to for me. I do think. Well, here we go. For one positive, I'm a fan of Iguodaro. You know, going all the way back to playing at Marquette. I think he'll be solid, and I like seeing him expected to start there tonight. Looking at both of these teams, one thing I can say if I like the Suns is Knicks aren't playing a whole lot of defense. Bottom five defensive rated team. Suns haven't been much better lately, but you guys know I don't like to lay points with teams that can't get stops. So we have that here. The Suns last 5 games have also been maybe it's about even rebounding. Um, I don't know. Playing at the house here, let me look a little closer. We do know the Suns were better at home, right? So let's look at that. Suns at home. I mean, they're 5-2 at home, and they're 4-4 on the road, just record wise, straight up. So playing at home, I would expect them to play better. Road players to play better. I would want Nurkic to be out there. You do need a little bit of size in this matchup. The more I think about it, I would try my best to try to find reasons to fade New York, and try to back Phoenix here. They don't want to just, I think there is still enough talent there to win some games. They started off strong. They don't want to go and just, start losing all these games because they don't have KD. I think they're still capable of winning. I think they'll want to show it here tonight. Um, lean towards Phoenix. Lean towards Phoenix. The market is going towards Phoenix. I think that could be the right side. Trying to talk that one out, but let's see what you guys think here. Moneyball says Knicks smash spot. Lingo Wick also likes the Knicks, says the Sun are trash. Casey likes the game over, thinks the Knicks can score a ton here. Well, both defenses have been pretty bad. Defensive ratings are 26 and 25. So if you can get the Suns to play a little bit more up tempo, you could have a really good shot. Number is what, 224.5. The market continues to push it up. Looking at New York, they cleared this number in 3 of their last 4 games. Phoenix, they've been struggling to score a little bit. I don't really like the total too much. I understand just because of the defenses, but I don't know. It makes me a little bit nervous. TP Jet says he took the +5, doesn't love it. Sab says without KD, he doesn't want Phoenix. Yeah, you could look at Mikal Bridges versus one of his old teams. You could look at that. Um, Val's asking about Booker points. No Phoenix game until Tuesday. Thinks they'll go all out. That is something good to look at. Phoenix doesn't play again until Tuesday. Let me just verify this because spots like that, they could absolutely go all out. Yeah, I'm starting to. This could be that one dirty dog right here. It's not too dirty, but it's the one nobody wants. And if they're, let me see, Phoenix, they last played on Monday. They are off until Tuesday. Damn. They wanna go on this little mini break with a win at the house. They lost all those games. They did beat the Jazz on the road trip, lost to the Kings, Thunder, T Wolves, then came home first game on a back to back, lost to the Magic. They get a day's rest, just their last game before a break. Let's go out with and go out with a win. I kind of starting to like this. And then we just look at the Knicks. The Knicks next game will be Saturday versus the Jazz. I'm starting to like it. I really am starting to like it. And that would be good for this. If they go all out, should be more points in that game there. Lit picks. He likes the Suns first quarter. Suns desperation spot. Thinks they come out hungry. I'm gonna write the Suns on my short list here. I am. Suns +5 is the best number I see. I'm starting to like that quite a bit. Moneyball says everybody about to be on the Knicks. Mike says West is more competitive. Knicks ain't played nobody. Give me the Suns and the points. Brian H says Suns bounce back today. Somehow keep it close. And Chris is on the Suns today. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. Lingo Wick thinks shit is sweet. He says Knicks first quarter, first half, and full game. He said it's sweet over there in Phoenix. J Money 029 thinks the Suns are due for a W. Munoz says Mikal Bridges and campaign revenge game. Interesting angles. Mark A says gonna try Knicks one more time. I do like this comment. This comment here, going back to the last game. Joel, you know I love you, but it starts with you and your habits. He said, if that don't light a fire for this team, then just shut it down. He likes Phoenix. Good stuff, Aaron Fink. Appreciate you coming in and sharing that sharing that quote. Thomas played Booker over his 26.5 points. J Money 029 not liking what he's seeing from Booker from Mikal Bridges from 3. Moneyball doesn't think the Suns have the scoring power to keep up in this game. We shall see. We shall see. The Golden Eagle. Appreciate you. I did cover the Bulls and Bucks on that game. If I was playing, I like the over 238.5. Just the pace that Bulls play with and the lack of defense. And they don't protect the paint. And we know Giannis likes he'll feast in the paint. So I think it'll be an up tempo spot. Lean over, lean Giannis points, 31.5. He's killed this team. Besides the one time he got injured and only played 9 minutes, there was one other spot he only got 26, but he's routinely gone over 32. It's just a bad matchup. So, Golden Eagle, appreciate you in that $10 dono. That is what I think about that game right there. And you can go back and hear the rest if you like as well. All right, we'll keep going. Next game up, we'll look at Hawks and Golden State. Opened up Golden State minus 8.5. They're an 8-point favorite. The total opened 238.5. It looks like 239. Injury report. Why do I not? There we go. There we go. Steph Curry, Kevon Looney, Kyle Anderson. So Looney and Curry are probable. Kyle Anderson is truly questionable. Melton will not be available. For the Hawks, Jalen Johnson is game time. Lundy and Zeller look like they'll both be out for them. Let me actually pull this up for this game. So the Hawks, they are coming off of that win. We did cash on them in that win versus Sacramento. It is their third game in 4 nights, 4th and 6th, but they're not on a back-to-back. For the Warriors, they're coming off of a loss at the favorite. They lost to the Clippers. So it's a chance for them to try to come in here and bounce back. Looking at how they've been playing lately, still showing the Warriors not playing defense. It says 21st defensive rated team. But like I mentioned before, I think that was just who they were playing. They were playing like the top of the top. And it might look like that when you play teams like that. Still top 10 offense. Both of these teams top 10 in pace last 5 games. We know the Hawks. Well, I don't want to say that now. The Hawks usually don't play defense. Last 5 games, they've gotten a lot better. They're the 13th defensive rated team. So right now, they're playing some kind of defense. Both teams about equal rebounding. This is interesting to me. Let me go look at the Hawks game log. They held Sacramento to 108, Portland 114, Washington 117, Boston 116. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they gave up 125 to Chicago, and they're still getting better on defense. That's how bad the defense was prior, I guess. Total of 239. If the Hawks are playing defense, we know the Warriors. The Warriors can play defense versus a team like this. Absolutely. I'm kind of leaning more towards an under. And it's crazy for me to think like that in the Hawks game. I know Hawks is 11-4 to the over. But this specific game, I think it can be more defensive. So I didn't play it. I um don't really have anything else in this one. And I had another player prop when I'm thinking about it, and I just blanked out on it. Oh no. No. I talked about it. Um was leaning Turner and Giannis. So we'll move it over. Or I'm sorry, let me look at the chat. Maybe you guys feel stronger about this game than me. Maybe you can help me out with this game. You got it, Mark. That was one good thing that I did yesterday. Made that the best bet for the show. Brian H likes Atlanta. Munaf says Curry averages 41.6 points per game versus Trey. That's a crazy stat right there. It's barbecue chicken out there, I guess. B Daddy likes over 122. That must be the first half number. Yeah, he says get it early and cash out. He also likes Curry over 25.5 points. Right there with Munaf saying he has big games versus Atlanta. KC likes Dyson Daniels over his steals and blocks, 3.5. Says Warriors just give the ball away in parts of the game, and he's been damn good at taking it away from teams too. Keelan Jackson. I'm sorry. The font is a little small over there for me today. Says, what's good, Skee? Keep up the good work, bro. Appreciate the content. Appreciate you and that comment. Thank you for tapping in and the kind words. Casey thinks that total is too high. I'm kind of agreeing with that. What's the team totals? Just curious for these teams. 115.5 for Atlanta, 123.5 for Golden State. Hey, that was the time right there. I'm never gonna forget that guy, man. Never gonna forget that guy. Thomas says Golden State or pass. Doobie, my guy Doobie likes Draymond. Points, rebounds, and assist over. Can't talk you off of that either. Appreciate you, JT. So we're moving on over to the last game on the slate. That looks like Magic and Clippers opened up Magic -1. They're 3.5 point favorite. Total open 208 and is down to 204.5. Injury report. Bankero out. Wendell Carter Jr. though looks like he's game time decision for the Clippers. No Kawhi, no Norman Powell, no PJ Tucker. The more I think about this game, I'm gonna be real. This was not the game that was on my radar this morning. I kind of just threw this game to the side and didn't want to think about it. I agree with the under just for the ways I know these teams to be. Orlando's defense has been great, especially lately. I can get some numbers for you. I'm just looking at it. Damn. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The last 6 games, Orlando has not allowed 100 points. So it makes sense why this total is dropping. They've been clamping. And the Clipper team total is right at 100.5. It did open 103.5. It's at 100.5 right now. The Magic, they did get the win on the road last game. They have been a much better home team than road team going all the way back to last year as well. But you got an elite defense versus a team that can probably struggle to score. Like I feel like they can clamp Harden, and it's gonna get ugly for the Clippers offensively. If that's happening. I don't really trust the Clippers to play defense right now, just because they haven't been lately. Um, at the same time, we know Magic offense isn't the greatest, so I still will lean under, but probably more than that, I would bet the Clippers not to touch 100. They've held 6 straight opponents under 100. I think that is the smartest way, or not the smartest way, but I think that is a way to look at this game and maybe take a ticket to the window when it's over. Looking at a couple more numbers here. Magic have held 11 out of 15 teams under their team total. They've held all 3 teams on the front end of a back-to-back under, and as a road favorite, they've held both teams under their team total. So Magic, I think they keep the Clippers in check here. It'll be Clippers team total under 100.5. Let's see. Yeah, Doobie's over there on Twitter. It's streaming on both Twitter and YouTube. So we can get comments here from both. Your mom's basement likes the wait, what he says Magic Big here. Okay, okay. Yeah, he likes the Magic. It's a different name. Top 20 likes Clippers money line there. Um yeah, I see you and Doobie over there cooking, KC. Top top MF in here says Clippers team total over. Interesting that he likes them to score on this Orlando defense tonight. G Hurt says he wants to get the Clippers here. No Norman Powell. It's really hard for me to look at the Clippers, man. Really hard. Top 20 says big game for Harden. Got to look at his double double. I mean, if the Clippers are going to stay in the game, Harden will have to do a lot of heavy lifting. I would agree with that. B Daddy likes Chris Dunn over 3.5 assists. Yes, 6 games in a row. They are clamping out there. That defense is looking elite. Brian H sharing some props there. And the team total under and the Magic to win. So he likes a lot. He's doing maybe a same game. Okay, so top MF in here thinks that under 100 streak will be snapped. Burkhardt, hopefully I said that right. He likes Magic -6, whatever it is. He says Clippers are absolutely trash without Powell. Well, you don't got to lay 6 yet, unless you want that outline at maybe plus money. They're only 3.5 right now. Top 20 says Harden will get calls and win the free throw line. Interesting way to look at it. Liz over there on Twitter likes Harden over 2.5 threes. I think he'll definitely have to hit some for them to be in the game. Definitely have to hit some. Um, M Scissor says another road ref. Barnaky 2-8 home teams against the spread. He says this says to play Orlando. Yeah, I'm with KC. No Powell, no way, no way. It's Magic or nothing. And I think the preferred way for me is just bet on that defense to do it again. Um, that is the NBA card for today. Um, I'm gonna share my short list here for today, and then yeah, that's what I'll do for the best bet segment. I got a whole short list here, so I'll rock with that, and I'll let you know what I'm looking at too, or something I might want to cut out. But before we get to best bets, let's do this. We have themoneyballer.com. It's a great place to look at all the data, all the stats, all the trends, whatever you need to cap these professional sports games. It's there on themoneyballer.com. When you hear me talking about situations while I'm capping the show, when you hear me bringing up the stats or the trends, I'm doing it right from that website. So if you'd like to check it out, there's a link in the description to this video, and use coupon code or promo code Skee. You'll get 50% off your first month, and then you can see how you like it. Now, other than that, I will go ahead and move it on over to. I bet you guys. I'll get better at doing this. I promise one day. So we're gonna do this. You guys should be able to see that. So Splash Sports, you can do quick picks, and what that is like, I mean, it's a contest with other real people. You're not betting against the house. It's not even betting. You're just in a contest, and you're entering a contest for money and trying to win the contest. Over 33% of contests are won without a perfect slip. So that's the good thing about this. You can go 3 out of 4 and still win. All you got to do is beat the other people. Um, Beat the other people you're going against, and you can win up to 12 times your money, which, like this says, is more money than you would with other daily fantasy providers. So I wouldn't tell you guys to use anything I wouldn't use myself. And the only reason I don't use it every day or use it more often is because I'm here in Vegas. When I'm out of Vegas, you'll see me using it and tweeting it out. Some quick pick lineups myself. But if you would like a quick pick lineup, the two I would go with today if I was playing is Giannis points at 31.5 and Miles Turner over 16.5 points. Those are the two guys that I would put in my quick pick lineup. So make sure if you want to use Splash Sports, there's a link in the description to this video. You use that link, you deposit $20, you'll get an additional $10 in your account, and you can check it out, see how you like it. Last, there's no promo, or last promo, I guess, is you guys know. I guess I'll do like this. Wagertalk.com. You guys can find anything I do, everything I do over there at Wagertalk. And do have a best bet for tonight up and available. Now, for the show, for the best bet segment. I'll usually when I have this show and then the show later afterwards, I like to give my long list or short list, so you guys know what I'm choosing from throughout the day. And if you've been listening, you know what I feel strongest about, and I'll try to reiterate that right now. But my list, it looks like this: Chicago, Milwaukee, over 238.5. I'm still, trying to get there with that, just that pace and no defense for the Bulls. And Milwaukee should be able to feast in the paint. Giannis points over 31.5. I shouted that out. Turner over 16.5 points. I shouted that out as well for the Splash Sports. Portland, I do think that's the public dog. It does make sense, situationally, et cetera, et cetera. But off a loss, if you know about that. If you go back with us a couple of years, OKC off a double L. I don't know. You might have their attention there tonight, Portland. So I might not get there with that one, honestly. Indiana, Houston. I'm trying everything to get to over 231.5. I want to see Jalen Green rolled in, and yeah, I would like to see Turner rolled in, Shepard rolled in. So I'm waiting on an injury report for that. But I do think that's played to the over. Suns +5. The more and more we talked about it, the more and more it makes sense for them to be hungry to go out there and get a win today at the house. So I really am starting to like that. Clippers team total under 100.5 and Sixers on the money line, or I think the Sixers can't even cover the 4. There are some loans, some maybe minus 115, 3.5 if you like that. But that's my list for today. And appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Always. Savage Gentleman says, I look like I need some sleep. I don't sleep very often anyway, but I could use a nap. I can always use a nap, but gotta get up and work. Try to get to this money, man. Gotta get to it. Um, what you're seeing, you might be seeing that the way that the Celtics sent me to the bar after they blew that cover last night. That might be what you're seeing right now, Savage Gentleman. But yeah, appreciate y'all in the chat. A lot of great people, a lot of great cappers. Show is nothing without you guys. So I always want to let you know you're appreciated. Best of luck if you tell. I will be on later, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with Dutch, Babano, and Wham Bam. So if you want to get some more NBA insight from all 4 of us, come back and I'll catch you guys then. Peace.